I'm just here to serve and to do a good job, not just for the residents of New Year's Row, but for, the other neighborhoods within my ward. This meeting is really going to be composed of three parts: an introduction of myself, Mr. Lee Coleman, who is here to speak about critter control, and then there were going to be some words about the Cuyahoga County Fund. Now, Mr. Michael Smedley is en route, so he's running a bit late, so he will be here. And then Mayor King will have a chance to speak as well about any updates concerning Ward 2. And then at the end of the program or the meeting, then it'll be a Q&A from the residents. So, please limit the questions to the agenda. Mr. Combs about critter control, or to Mr. Smedley about the county fund, and let's have a great meeting. Would anybody like to open the meeting with prayer? And I want to apologize. I don't have agendas for you all. There was a mix-up, or not a mix-up, but emails didn't get through in time. So I promise the next meeting we'll all have agendas, so we won't just have to wing it. But with that being said, would anybody like to open with prayer?
I will. Let us stand. Thank you. Dear beloved God, we thank you at this time of Thanksgiving for your spirit, for your guidance, for your direction. Touch everybody's heart to work for the development of East Cleveland, moving forward to do good things. Allow us to agree and disagree. Allow us to care for each other. Bless the new appointed council person. Bless our mayor. Bless and help the city of East Cleveland. Bless and help the families. Let us all say amen. Amen. Thank you.
Almost everyone knows me here. Hi, Mr. Smedley.
How are you?
This is Michael Smedley.
Everybody knows me.
Well, we have a new guest. We have someone new here. So, Kathleen Solomon.
I know Kathleen.
Oh, okay. But anyway, everyone here knows me, so I don't really need to, I don't think, go on with the introduction. My name is Che. I'm a mother of two. I live in Farmington, part of the Millionaires Road Neighborhood Association. Been in East Cleveland since 2004. Great opportunity to serve as your appointed council person. I look forward to working with everyone, and I welcome all feedback. And yeah, I just want to do a great job. So anyone who feels that they can help me, please reach out. Anyone who's worked with me in the past knows that I am an open door. You can call me. I'm a night owl, so I accept late night calls with any concerns, and I'm very candid. I'm very open. I try to be as honest, as an honest person can be, and I welcome each and every person here to work with me to help make Ward 2 a better ward, and to get the residents more engaged, and to increase voter engagement and voter participation, because as an organizer, I believe that is truly the only leverage that we have in order to get what we need to make the city better. So I look forward again to working with each and every one of you. And with that, I would like to introduce, I said that I was going to introduce Mr. Coleman first, but it kind of would seem in bad taste to introduce him before the mayor. So, Mayor King, if you would like to take this opportunity to stand and give us any updates regarding Ward 2.
Oh, you give me some of your time at the end.
Say it again.
If you can yield me some of your time.
Yes. So, thank you all for coming out. As many of you know me, I was born and raised in the city. It's very near and dear to my heart to move this city forward. And I would like to do so working together. Not just administration, council, courts, schools, and the other elected officials, but with you, the residents, so that we can best address your quality of life needs. And that's one of the big reasons for having all of these neighborhood groups. So thank you for coming out. Stay engaged in your neighborhood groups, right? Because it really helps for people to understand the work that's going to be done, that's coming down, and the budget of money that we have to do that work, so that what gets addressed this year, and some gets pushed into 19. So if you want me to yield, I'll let Mike tell you about what quality of life issues are going to be addressed next year.
Well, I'm not going to go through any crazy introductions because everybody know me. I've either been at your house or living at your house, or Councilman Smith. What I wanted to talk about is Saturday there was an article in the newspaper. It was about the U.S. Attorneys General indicted a guy by the name of Ken Tyson who worked for the Cuyahoga County Land Bank. In that indictment, it names me and what I had done in the 15 or 16 unindicted co-conspirators. And the reason they use the term co-conspirator is because if I have to testify, it exempts me from being, from my statements being hearsay. So my direct testimony can lead to the investigation of an individual. But I want to tell you what happened because the newspaper, I think, assassinated my character in attempts to assassinate East Cleveland's character. In 2013, actually in 2012, the person, MR, from RCI is Mike Riley. He first came to the city of East Cleveland. He bidded on 30 demolitions that the city put together through NSP, Neighborhood Stabilization. Some of you have heard that term, some of you haven't. He won those demolitions, but the community development director at the time, Joe Mazzola, had to take those demos back because one contractor couldn't get those 30 demos done in time for the money to be spent. And if we didn't spend it by January 1, 2013, then the money would have to go back to the federal government, the NSP money. So they took those demos back from him, spread it among other contractors, and they got the demos done. We kept the money. The guy kept bidding on East Cleveland demos. He bidded and bidded. He won. He did great work. He volunteered in the community. He cleaned up dumping on Howard. He cleaned up dumping at 13800 Terrace, the vacant high-rise. He helped the fire department. He put in concrete. He did a lot of stuff. So he said to me, Mike, hey, I want to get into the land bank's demo program. Do you know anybody down there? Now, the land bank was doing over 1,000 demos a year. That's millions and millions of dollars of demos. All demo contractors want to get inside of that program. He asked me in 2012, hey, Mike, 2013, do you know anybody down there? I said, sure. I work with Cheryl Stevens all the time. Now, in the indictment, and the newspaper took the indictment and didn't put the entire indictment in. We went down and got the indictment, so I know all the people who were involved. At least majority of those who were there. So I scheduled a meeting with Cheryl Stevens. I took Mike Riley there. Come on in. I took Mike Riley there, and he said, what do I have to do to get on the contractor's list? She gave him his list of instructions, and we left. The newspaper said that I met with Ken Tyson, never met with him. He was an intern. He had no juice. He had no authority. He was someone that I would not meet with in order to talk about demolition because Cheryl Stevens, as anybody in Cuyahoga County knows, runs the demolition program for Cuyahoga County. She left last year. She's now the executive director for East Akron Community Development Corporation. But at the time, her title in the world was called the Queen of Demolition. I knew her from 2010 when we came in. She got elected in 2011 as the councilwoman for Cleveland Heights, and we've been friends professionally and personally. So it was no issue for me to introduce him to her. She gave him this list of instructions, and we left. One meeting, 45 minutes, that's my entire involvement. Eric Brewer in the newspapers and these two individuals are saying something completely different. The newspaper said, leads you to believe that I was in league with Ken Tyson to get this guy on the list so that he can do work at Ken Tyson's house. What benefit is of me to work with this guy to get work done for his house? We have a letter that we're sending to the... You got it, Mary?
I did.
We're sending a letter to the FBI, and we're sending it to the U.S. Attorney General's office because we want some of that stuff retracted. What we want retracted is, I was not chief of staff in 2013. I had no authority to direct a director to send files somewhere. So that was point number one that's wrong. Point number two that's wrong, I never introduced him to Ken Tyson. I never introduced a demo contractor to Ken Tyson. I never met with Ken Tyson and Mike Riley at any point. I only had one meeting regarding demolition and Mike Riley, and that was with Cheryl Stevens. Now, if they wanted to, they can go back because they keep a log in of when you come in. You got to write your name in, who you coming to see at the county land bank. If any of you ever been down there, you got to log in. Now, if anybody, and it's a public record, if anybody wanted to know where I was at that date and who I met with on that date and who was with me, it's in that log. So you can go. They can go and track that log. The FBI only took the word of Mike Riley to corroborate their indictment. Now, Ken Tyson, according to the indictment, asked Mike Riley to do something at his house for free. That's the crime. The crime isn't introducing Mike Riley to Cheryl Stevens. The crime isn't asking Cheryl Stevens what does it take to get on the list. He did everything right. That's why he had been bidding on demos from 2013 to 2018. What the crime was in 2013 is that Ken Tyson told him he can get him on the list if he does something free at his house. That has nothing to do with me. The newspaper makes it seem like I've conspired in that situation. But we're sending our letter with my name on it to the FBI and to the Attorney General's office to ask them to retract those statements because they are false. They never contacted me. I don't think they contacted Cheryl Stevens. I don't even think they contacted Ken Tyson. I'm sure he woke up on Saturday like I got up on Saturday, blown away. For him, whatever he did, that's his thing. But I know I didn't do anything. And we want to retract it. And I'm going to go to every community meeting to talk about this because anybody, all of you who have been in your houses, I brought stuff to your houses, you've given me things. I have no reason to help this guy get his house fixed for free. What benefit is it of me to do that? None whatsoever. The investigation is closed, and when they did the indictment, they closed it, and they sent it to the Attorney General, and they're going to prosecute it. His arraignment is December 9th or December 7th. I am not being investigated. I'm not being indicted. There are 17 co-conspirators in this document. What the plain dealer, what the news outlets did, they took it and they crafted it so that it can attack me, which essentially attacks East Cleveland. Right. So when my detractors out there, and a couple of them are in here, my detractors, when they attack me, they're going to put it all over the media, they're going to go put it in people's homes and say, Mike Smedley is this, Mike Smedley is that. They're not attacking me, they're attacking East Cleveland. My job is to bring external resources into the city so that we can rebuild the city. As a matter of fact, last week, he's not here, I thought I saw his car. The Councilman Austin. We met with NASA, we met with the U.S. Department of Commerce, and we met with Region 5 HUD, all to talk about working in this distressed community. When they attack my character, it prevents me from doing that. So I need to stand up for me, because standing up for me stands up for you. That's right. Stands up for the city of East Cleveland. Because if I'm attacked and I'm destroyed, then you got to find yourself a new champion. That's right. You got to find yourself a new champion, because I'm telling you, this weekend was the worst weekend of my life. I look at a document, I look at the newspaper, because I don't have the indictment. I look at the newspaper, and I see this thing saying things that I know to not be true. And they indicted a guy based on information that was inaccurate. They never talked to me. They never talked to Sheriff Stevens. They probably never talked to Joe Mazzola. They knew he committed something because there was receipts and a way to track his actions. But in the indictment, I know I didn't set up a meeting between those two. Cheryl Stevens know I didn't set up a meeting with them two because I set up a meeting with her. And he was an intern. When does an intern have the authority to get some work done or to direct some work? All they're doing is shuffling paper. And learning the job.
And working for free.
Well, he making a little money.
Maybe you get paid a little bit.
Yeah. So,
Still close enough.
hopefully the newspapers get a copy of this letter that's addressed to the U.S. Department of the U.S. Attorney General's office, because they are, I don't know if they intentionally did it. I don't know. I know the newspapers intentionally did it. I know that for a fact. If there's a pothole in the street, they're going to act like it's a crater that a meteor hit and that the city should be shut down because there's a pothole in the street. Not to say that potholes aren't important, but I know that they are purposefully, knowingly, willfully attacking my character. I have never been indicted over anything, never been to jail for anything in my life, even as a kid. And I'm not going to conspire to get some guy who's an intern his house fixed for free. Period. I'm not going to do it. Never have, never will. I know that people have been talking about this, but I'm not even dressed to be here, right? This weekend was so bad, you can see I'm unshaven. My hair isn't even cut. I did brush my teeth today.
And a few other body parts out.
Some I missed. I'm gonna be honest with you. This has been the worst experience of my life. And I'm being really honest with you. This has been the worst experience of my life. When they wrote that stuff, and I didn't know what conspire means. I know what it means to the layman person. Right? When you conspiring means that you're doing something nefarious. Okay? And it had that in there. And I knew that they would be coming to my door next. And I'm saying to myself, by introducing a guy, 45 minutes sitting in one woman's office could lead to all of this. But then today, the mayor, Che, a few others, who say, hey man, that if it's not true, don't worry about it. And they know I was shook up this weekend. Really shook up. This morning I was shook up. But I knew I didn't do anything wrong. They closed the case. Our office talked to the FBI, and they talked to the U.S. Attorney General's office. They closed the case. They sent it to the Attorney General. That's why the indictment is what it is. And I just wanted to make sure that, and I'm going to be going around telling everybody this, because I know my detractors. It's all over the internet as if I'm public enemy number one.
If people do that kind of stuff,
yeah,
they put trash on that.
Absolutely. So I just want to let you all know, so that you hear it directly from me, and you'll probably, if they publish it in the newspaper, the letter asking for a retraction against my name. Wow. Thank you.
So wait, before you finish it, right? I just wanted to let everyone know, as the executive, I did put the call in Saturday. Sent our attorney down to pull the file from the courthouse this morning. So we've been going through it all day, and we did craft asking for a retraction. We will send it out in the morning, and we will get copies over at least to the 3 news medias that wrote the stories, right? So, and I know there's some people in here who like public records requests. You cannot get this tonight, okay? But we haven't even sent it downtown yet. As you can see, it's still blue ink. So I just wanted to, in case we wanted to read it, I had it with me. so you guys can hear exactly what it is we're claiming is wrong with this document.
Would you mind reading like that? Would you like to read it?
We want you to read it.
Want to read it?
I mean, are you able
Like
to read
No,
it?
we can read it, but I can't get you a copy of it tonight, is what I'm saying.
And there's going to be 2 changes in here, and I'll tell you what they are, because I already talked to the...
Wait, Mr. Smedley, before you start, can I just make a disclaimer that, because it has not been sent out, I ask that cell phones and things like that, recording devices or anything, please be put away for the security of the document.
Well, you're not gonna leave your hands.
We were told
It's not gonna leave your
in the
hands.
school board that drafts are also public records.
That's fine, but you're just not getting it tonight. It's going to go
But she
downtown.
said to put cell phones away. And as far as I'm concerned, since I was told by a lawyer that
Wow.
drafts
Well,
are...
that's okay, we can wait until tomorrow. So,
Yeah, you just-
with that being
Wait till it's
said,
published and
Public
then.
government.
with that
Was
being
that-
said,
School district rules might be different.
No,
every
this
day.
is...
But she's just
public
being
record
difficult.
information.
And I want to share it with you so
But
you would
Mr.
hear
Smedley-
it.
It'll be published soon enough, so
we can wait until
understand it,
tomorrow.
Jeff.
But I have a question for you, Mr. Smedley.
Okay.
So
Okay, I
since you all just seem to not want to follow my agenda, no, I'm just joking. What updates can you give about the county fund?
Okay. Now out of this somber mode, and I apologize for this, but like I said, it's been one of the worst weekends of my life to get up in the morning and see your name in the newspaper characterized in the way that it was.
No, I don't feel it.
Yeah. So back to you. Purpose of these meetings. First, your fall leaf pickup schedule. Now our team is behind because 1, we had equipment coming in, and 2, the weather is bad. So they're in Forest Hills neighborhood. They started in Westburn area, came down Terrace, Hillside, Allendale, Rosedale, on and on and on. They're in Forest Hills. After Forest Hills, they come into your neighborhood. This has November 19th to the 23rd. It's next week when they'll be here in your neighborhood. So I just want you to take one, pass it down so you'll know.
Like the trees